In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do the Uplands scarf. This is using Peyton's Upland, and this is really simple, and I think you'll love this pattern. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to experience my pattern here, and this is called the Uplands scarf, and I called it because I basically named it after the brand of yarn that I used. So this is a pattern by me, and basically it is amazing yarn that we're going to be working with today. I'll tell you a little bit more about this yarn because it's actually very unique to itself, and this pattern is a matter of just repeating 2 rows over and over, and you have a really great look to it, and I'll explain more about that in just a moment. First of all, we're going to be using Peyton's Upland today. To do this scarf completely as per my written instructions, you need 3 balls of this. So if you'd like to do the scarf without the tassels, you only need 2 balls, but if you'd like to do the tassels, you'll need 2 balls plus another ball to finish all the tassels or the fringe, whatever you want to call it. So this is Peyton's Uplands. It's available and it's new as of 2015, and this is a really interesting yarn, and because I think it's actually kind of, the colors are based on environment. If you look at the color lines that are available, the color names, you will see that it's kind of named after like the ocean and environment. So that's what I think. So it's also a mix of 50% wool and 50% acrylic. So this is one of those types of materials that you can use and keep yourself warm over the winter. So it's a really great look. Now it looks like that it's hand spun because some of the strands are thicker at times and it's thinner at times. It all depends on where you are in the ball, and so because of that, it has a really unique look to it, and so when it comes out in the ball, sometimes you get like these nice thick chunks, and other times it kind of thins off. So it has a very artistic look and as well as feel to this yarn. Now just for kicks, I decided to do a crochet diagram for you in order for you to see exactly where you're doing the stitches. So it's a great idea in order for you to be able to do this. So you're gonna be using an 8mm size L crochet hook. If you're asking me about this hook, it actually is a boy hook. I picked it up at Michael's stores, and it's actually really great hooked in order to use, and I like the comfort grip, so that's why I use it. So if you would like to change this pattern, for example, say you love this pattern so much you want to do it in an afghan, the whole thing is in sets of 3. So you can go 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then at the very end of the chain you just have to add 1 as it states there, and you will always be in balance in order to make it work. So basically we have 2 rows that are completely just repeating over and over and over, and you have to make sure that you're going to finish your project on row number 2 as per the instructions here, and this is the 5 single crochets in top, and it will make sense in just a few minutes as well. We're also going to be covering tassels on how to do those, and this scarf will be about 64 inches long without the tassels, but if you add the tassels it'll be 80 inches, and it has a really great look and feel to it. And before I start this tutorial, this is what you're looking at here. As per the diagram, you saw that there was double crochets and then chain 1 and then double crochets, and then the row next one is 5 double crochets into this gap space, and it creates these beautiful archways that you can see here. It's almost like lattice work, and because of this yarn, then the coloring, the way it is, it has a really unique look to it. It feels great on the hands as well. So this is basically 2 rows, and because the 2 rows are working together, it has this really unique architecture within your scarf. So let's grab our yarn and start our project. We're just gonna start off with a slip knot. Again, if you want to change your pattern size, it's in multiple sets of 3 plus 1. In my case, I'm gonna tell you just to chain 16 in order to match the pattern. So remember, the first slip knot never counts as 1. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16, and you can see that the yarn is changing thickness, it's changing color. It's just absolutely fabulous. Okay, so we're gonna count back and do row number 1. So we're gonna count back to the 5th chain, so just count these chains. So 1 2 3 4 5. I like to turn over my chain. Somebody Facebooked me today and says, is that normal? And that's just my personal preference. If you prefer not to, that's up to you. It does a nicer finish though if you do it the way I'm showing you. So we have 1 2 3 4 and 5. So on the 5th one we want to double crochet into that chain. Okay, double crochet and then chain 1 and then double crochet back into that same chain, and that's referred to as a V-stitch in this pattern. So whenever I say V-stitch, that's exactly what that is. So it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So now coming back down to the chain, I want to skip over 2, so 1 and 2, and go to the 3rd one over and do another V-stitch. So just double crochet chain 1 and double crochet. Okay, so skip 2 more chains and do another V-stitch, and we're gonna do that all the way down the chain. Okay, so skip another 2 chains and go to the third one over for another V-stitch. So even if you've gone in multiples of 3 and then added 1 at the end of your chain, then it's still gonna work out that you'll have basically 2 stitches left, and you will go into the, or 2 chains left, and you'll go into the final chain with just a double crochet within this particular row. Okay, so we've kind of established the first row here, and this is the basis for the rest of this project. Let's move up to row number 2. So when we're finishing this project, we always have to finish doing row number 2. Very, very simple. So we're just gonna start off in chain 1, and right in the top of the first double crochet you're gonna put in a single crochet, and you're gonna love this row. It's very easy. So you just have to separate the V-stitch, so it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just go right into the gap itself and put in 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, skip everything and go to the next middle of the next V-stitch and put in 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, skip everything and go to the next middle of the next V. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and go to the next one. You see that? So I'm trying to teach you not to have to count stitches, just look for where the gap spaces are. So that was 3. So you do have to count your stitches that you're putting in. So 3, this is 4, and 5. So that was the last chain 1 space. So the very last one here, you're just gonna put a single crochet in the top of the turning chain. Okay, so basically that's the only ones that stick out by themselves at the very end. So it's the very last one is 1 single crochet, and when you started it was 1 single crochet. Let's move up to row number 3. So let's turn our work and move up to row number 3. So 2, which we just did, and 3 are the repeats for this whole thing. So let's this is what I want to show you. So I want to try to avoid you counting stitches, but if you have to, you have to. So I want you to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3. You can either, in the next chain 5 group, you can either count to the middle one of the 3, so 1, 2, and 3, or you can just look for it. So you literally, if you train your eyes, you will see it right away. So you can either go 1, 2, and 3 is where you're gonna place. So you're gonna put in a V-stitch in the third one. So with V-stitches, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, so once you get that done, just come to the next group of 5 and look for the third one over or the middle one, and just count it over, or just look for it. Oops, and this is a V-stitch. So 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Okay, come to the next group of 5. Okay, count it or look for it, up to you. And I have to say, if you're off by 1, you're really never gonna see it in this pattern. But I would try to get close, but if you're off by 1, I wouldn't be frogging nothing. So here we go, the last group of 5, and go to the middle one. It literally, did my whole scarf in a matter of a couple hours, so my eyes are just automatically looking to that middle one. Okay, so once you get that done, just a double crochet into the final single crochet. So I'm gonna repeat row number 2 once again, just to make sure that you're on track, and then I'll show you how to do the fringe. So let's repeat row number 2. So you turn our work, chain 1, we single crochet into the top of the double crochet, the first one, and now we look for the V-stitch and go for the middle. So how many is in the middle? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we go to the next one. So 1, so the next V-stitch is gonna be 5, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a mindless pattern in my opinion, because you just look for the stitches and your hands just do the work. Okay, next group of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, next group of V-stitch, another 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the final one here is 1 single crochet into the turning chain. So that's how you do this whole scarf. So you're gonna use up 2 full balls doing this whole thing. If you would like tassels or fringe at the end, you just have to use an extra ball in order to accomplish that, and the instructions how to do that, but I'm gonna review that next. Okay, so we have the chart back here again. The red dots indicate where you should put your tassels. So you're gonna have tassels right in the base section. Okay, this is the starting chain, and then right where you're having it here. So you're gonna finish on row number 2, which is this one. So your tassels will be put into the middle one of the group of 5. Okay, there's 4 of them, and then down here I put it into the actual center of the V out. So to do tassels, so looking at it here, so we're looking at it here, here's the starting chain. So I would have put it, the tassel, right around this whole section. Okay, so I would trap that whole thing in right here. And on the other side, what I would do is in the middle of the group of 5 is where it is, so you can see it's in balance going all the way down. So how do you do tassels? Let me show you that in just a sec. To do tassels, I really like the 16-inch. So you're gonna take a tape measure and just put it down and just lay down your string beside a tape measure. Okay, so let's pretend that's 16 inches, and you're going to trim your yarn. So there's one spot. So once I get one done, I just put down another one, and I always like 4 per tassel. It provides a nice thick enough, and it's not too bulky, but it has a really beautiful finish. The worst thing you can ever do with tassels is that you don't provide enough yarn into it, or you just don't make them long enough and you wish it would have been longer. So be prepared to waste a little bit of yarn, especially to get the length that you want. So now that I have my 4 here, I'm just going to group them all up, and I'm gonna line them all up in my hand so that all the points or the ends are together at the same height. Okay, so all 4 together, and I'm gonna run my hand and just kind of pull, and if I'm off by a little bit, you're gonna be able to tell right away. So once I get that done, I'm gonna lay my hand, the yarn into the hand, and I'm just gonna pull up like so. So I just wanna make sure it's balanced. So I wanna make sure that all the yarn is pretty much balanced, so that all the strings are pretty much at the same height. The ones that are extra long, you know, you don't worry about those, you're gonna trim those. So using my hand, I'm just gonna leave up a loop like so. Now we're gonna grab up our project, and so for example, say I was gonna do the middle one of there. I insert my hook into the middle stitch. Okay, going in like so. Now you have your group of stitches. You're just gonna grab this yarn and pull through. Now depending on the yarn, sometimes you can actually get your fingers through there, and there's enough there. So I'm just gonna put my fingers through. I find it so much easier, and just use my fingers and kind of open up that loop and pull the yarn through. And then just gently but firmly just kind of pull like so, and therefore you can see it happens. So you might have different lengths, and what I just do is I do the whole thing first on one side, and then I do the other side, and then I come and just compare the two, and then I just trim the side that I want. So what you have to be conscious about it is that the knot here doesn't look equal. So one side the string will come across straight, and the other side it will look like it's being sucked in. So you have to be self-conscious on this when you're doing this whole kind of project, is that when you're going all the way down on the row, see there's the sucked in is all on one side, and then the other one you can see that the strings are actually just going all the way straight across, just like so. And obviously that's a loose end that I should have trimmed out. Whoops. But yeah, so it just makes it really simple. Now the trick is, if you're going to wear this scarf and you want all of the straight lines going all the way across, then what you have to just do is that when you go to cross compare them, you wanna make sure that when the scarf is being worn, that basically it's equal on both sides, so that you have the lines going across or they're going sucked in. I don't think it looks as cool as if you got one side then that has the lines going across and the other side looking like it's sucked in. Again, that's a personal choice. It's just something that would bug me in the long term. So that's how you would complete one of these scarves. So that's it for today. Enjoy my Uplands scarf. It's a great little pattern, and in order to get these tassels really nice and full the way you see it, I did a steamer and I steamed them up to puff them up, and it gives them a little bit of body as well, and you can straighten those up when you use the steamer as well. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.